Alright, what's up, X Mafia? It's back with another video. Today we have a little bit of a different one, but I just want to give my personal predictions and hopes for the second season of Ahsoka. By the way, Maul Shadow Lord version of this will come out next week, but even though the show is months away, hopefully, it's also come out next month. And we don't have any trailers publicly yet. This is gonna be mostly a shot in the dark. I'm gonna rely on a few leaks that I've seen gone around, but I don't know how accurate these are. But that's gonna be where I'm gonna base some of my predictions off of. But without further ado, let us begin. Also, I might try captions. I don't know yet. I haven't edited this yet. I'm not sure how much I'll try, but okay, that's enough yapping. Let's get on to the actual relevant yap. So, I think the show will start off with Ezra meeting Hera because, let's be honest, that was not emotional enough. It was kind of emotional, but we don't want to see them actually interact, hug, literally just start off right there, and then it's like, oh my God, Ezra, and then you realize that Thrawn's there. And then we take it further. We have maybe Hondo, Zeb, what are the characters? Rex, Callus, make their return to either return to the show, return to live action, or live action debut. Well, I guess, Rex technically, because a clone, but anyways. You just have them meet Ezra. I think that'd be a cool moment. Should have seen that at the end of season 1, but I think it'd be good because I think all characters could be used in this show. There was a possible rumor that Ezra would have a new love interest in this show. I'm gonna go out and just say it. I think that could be Mara Jade, or at least a canon interpretation of the character. Maybe because obviously this is supposed to be the Thrawn trilogy. I mean, not really, but you kind of know what I mean. They're supposed to have some. There should be a lot of references, and I think Mara Jade could be an interesting one, especially since I don't think she could really be with Luke at this point, based on the canon. So why not with Ezra? Maybe she wants to kill Ezra. Maybe she wants Ezra to access the world between worlds because Palpatine's alive, and maybe he just wants that extra chance. And Ezra's, along with Ahsoka, are the only two people that could really do it. Or maybe it's a secret plot twist and it's Ezra's sister, or it's Sabine's sister or someone. I don't know. That's just a random thought that I had. I don't know if that rumor's still true, but I think that'd be a kind of cool plot twist. Continuing on with the New Republic side, I don't think they're gonna do a battle, of course, not in this series. I think that would be a movie plot. Another movie plot I think would be at Atten. Now I mean I say this because on the star map they posted a while ago, Atten just so happened to be next to Dathomir, which is where the Empire's based at. I think we got a reference to it. I don't think we'll actually see anything happen, nor will we see the characters in this show from Skeleton Crew. But I think it would definitely be somewhat involved. Definitely references, because I think it takes place around or before season 1 of Ahsoka. So I think we'll get that and that relevant scene to the timeline. Definitely based off of what we've seen from the still images. We know that Dathomir is gonna be a battlefield. We can only assume that the Great Mothers are resurrecting the witches, or at least the witches of old from Peridea, which we'll get to that side in a minute. Maybe they'll get new armor tech to help them, because again, we also know that the Republic's going to at least attack and probably get on ground. I don't think they're going to win here, though. I think they're going to get pushed back. Maybe someone gets captured. It becomes another movie plot. I'm going to go on a limb and say that's maybe Jason. I think that would be really interesting. We also know that Ezra has to be a mentor. And maybe he just messes up at some point. I think that would be an interesting plot line. Maybe Thrawn uses that bait either in the series or later on. Maybe he is working with the Emperor and the whole Mary Jade thing from earlier. I don't know, that'd be if that's true, then that's insane. I think there'll be another battle of Lothal. Again, maybe not in this show, but I think they will return to the planet. A, because reused assets, and B, I think it would be a good plot device that they just come right back. And maybe Thrawn does win. Maybe Lothal becomes like the new Imperial HQ for the time being. And finally, I think for this side of the story, I would assume that Thrawn's introduction would be like the Imperial Remnant, Shadow Council, and maybe Pelion will just introduce Thrawn. I think that's my predictions for that side of the show. But there's probably the more interesting one. The one with the character the show's named after, and that's the Peridea side. I think, well, what we kind of know, I think Anakin, Ahsoka, and Baylan are going to be the new Mortis God archetypes. A good way of making Ahsoka immortal in a way that Dave Filoni probably wants to. Also could be a little interesting. I think that could be an interesting plotline. I think Baylan, the person who's calling the Baylan, is definitely the mother. Well, she's probably promising Baylan power. I think he will get that power, but I think it is a trick. I assume that the mother, Abeloth, if you don't know ball, maybe do possession, so that I think that could be a little interesting plotline if that's true. And we know that there's gonna be like robot creatures things. I would assume that she's in control of those. We did kind of see some like robot rock creatures in the Clone Wars in the 6th season. Wonder if those are gonna be the same type of things. We saw them around with Talzin. So I wonder if just be more powerful versions of those. Maybe how those work. I think Baylan. I don't really know what's gonna happen with Baylan's character. I think definitely a son archetype, but will he die? I don't know. I think Shin will be a villain. Maybe she destroys like Hu Yang. At the end of like an episode, as she turns to the light. At least she helps, like Ahsoka and Sabine, at some point. Maybe she sacrifices himself. I don't know. As for, and again, there's also that prediction that Anakin's Force Ghost will fight Baylan, which honestly could make sense because we know there's some connection between Peridea and Mortis. Maybe they are the same planet, just different sides, or it's like an Atten type of situation where it's like kind of the same planet but not really. I'm sure this will definitely be explained though. Definitely the mother's involved. As for Ahsoka and Sabine, I think how they will get back to the main galaxy, at least Sabine. I don't know if Ahsoka will stay in Peridea. I think she will. I think she will, like, stay in Peridea to become like the daughter archetype. And she and Anakin be there forever with like Baylan. But I think they'll use like a temple. Since we know they're going to be on Dathomir at some point, maybe there's like a portal using like the world between worlds. And Sabine will just like magically show up out of nowhere. Maybe with Shin. And they'll be back. I also hope. Last thing. mainly because of the World Between Worlds. I want to see more flashbacks, especially with Sabine. I feel like one of the biggest crimes that we got in Season 1 was that there were no flashbacks to Rebels. Preferably, I'd like to see what I got on my list. Her Imperial Academy days, maybe making the Duchess joining the Ghost, or at least meeting Hera and Kanan. The Rebels finale, because I feel like that was obvious. That should have happened in Season 1. And maybe hearing what happened when training with Ahsoka, about what happened on Mandalore. Maybe she has to confront those fears or something, similar to how Ahsoka did. I don't know, I'm a big Rebels fan. I'd like to see Rebels connections. I'd also like to see like a Tales of Star Wars Rebels show, where we get modern day animation for those characters. But I do plan on making another video explaining that. Yeah, thanks for watching. I think that's generally all my predictions. If I have anything more, I'll leave in the comments. Hopefully most of these are right. But time will tell, because the trailers have not, or anything has not really revealed outside of like leaks and rumors. Yeah, I'll do next week. I'll be doing a Shadow Lord version of this, probably much shorter. I have more Star Wars videos planned on the way, so thanks for watching and peace.